to be hurting one another, but now they're going to decide who of the big boys is going to be the first one to make a move. And I suggest that the move that will be made will be an awful long way out, as Dominic Karui leads and Paul Koech coming up on the outside, having slight little arguments with one another, but there's only because the race has not really started in earnest yet, as they come down the home straight with 11 laps to go.
Karui leads, Koech second, Gebrselassie is third, Hisu fourth, and Jifar of Ethiopia and certainly you'd expect pace to be injected at some stage now in the second half of the race. Hisu in fourth place. When he broke the world record last year, he ran 13:12 for the second 5,000 meters. That's unbelievable. But Gebrselassie then knocked seconds off it this year. Karui now being tested by Gebrselassie. Jifar's there. On the inside is Koech and Hisu and Castro of Portugal. The other Kenyan, Paul Tergat, second in the Olympic Games last year when they gave Gebrselassie such a workout he wasn't able to run again for weeks, mainly because of the hard track, but the Kenyans gave him a hard time and that bunching causing problems. 10 to go and Hisu takes it on now, and this really is an injection of pace if it's sustained.
Well, 10 laps to go. I feel that in a distance race like this, 10 laps to go is not too far out. And quite honestly, if Salah Hisu, who's now leading, wants this title, then he's going to have to do some damage to the great Gebrselassie, who's in third place there. He can't do it in the last lap. He's shown that in the past. Can he do it from 10 laps out? Well, it's a brave effort to try that. It is a long way to go, and there are some world-class athletes behind him. But the issue for Salah Hisu now is if he wants to medal badly enough, he's going to have to do it on his own here. He's going to have to keep consistent. He's going to have to keep his form up, and he's going to have to keep pushing and working. He's going to have to ignore what's happening behind him, and really, he's going to have to start injecting laps closer to 60 seconds than they've been so far. They've been at 70 seconds.
There's a gap open now. There's 8 or 9 athletes in the leading group. This time the lap marker showing 9 left. Paul Koech, the leader. Gebrselassie second. Paul Tergat in third place. Fourth is Hisu. They keep chopping and changing position. And Jifar now goes into fourth place. In sixth place is Castro. Seventh is Mezigibu. Eighth is Ray of Spain. But they're being stretched out. Interesting to see what the next lap time is.
Well, that last lap time, David, was the fastest lap of the race so far. Most of the laps have been close to 67, 68 seconds, and that one was 63.8. So now the race is starting in earnest, and the group is now got down already after just that one hard lap. There are 7 in that leading group, and they're pulling away from Ray, the Spaniard. So the only European in this leading group of Africans is the Portuguese Domingos Castro, the fastest marathon runner in the world this year. But he's being tested now, and this lap, I would imagine, will be almost as fast as the last lap, and that's when the damage starts to be done. 8 laps to go, and that lap was a 63-second lap again. The fastest lap of the race this so far, 63.43.
And then drop one of the Kenyans, that's Karui. So the Kenyans down to 2 in the leading group. The Moroccans only have 1. The Ethiopians have 2. And Koech pushing hard in front. Gebrselassie now tracking him. Tergat in third place, Hisu 4, Castro 5, Jifar 6. Tergat so long and rangy. Won the World Cross Country this time for the 3rd time. 2 Ethiopians at the back of that group, Jifar and Mezigibu, who's only 19, got a tremendous record. World junior champion last year at 5,000 and 10,000 meters. Here he is in the World Championship senior final. Koech leads, Gebrselassie second, Turgat third, Hisu fourth. Tracking back, Castro's 5. And Giffard.
I've just worked it out there. They've just run the last mile in about 4 minutes and 12 seconds. When you think about that, they ran the first mile in 4:35. So now the middle of the race and the pressure really beginning to apply. 63 seconds, 64-second laps, and it'll wear them down. The first one to drop off the back of the group is the Giffard, the Ethiopian, and now still Domingos Castro in that group, and there's 5 Africans, Domingos Castro, and the champion, the reigning champion, the Olympic champion, the world record holder in second place. They're not even extending him yet, because this pace is no faster than he ran when he set the world record. It's not a world record run tonight. It's going to be a fast second half of the race, but there we're looking in second place to the great Haile Gebrselassie.
Well, there's a lot of support for the Ethiopians. They've now only got 2 in that leading group. Gebrselassie and Mezi Gibu, who's at the back of that group of 6. Koech leads, he's really cutting it out. Perhaps inspired by the win of his niece last night, Salih Barsosio, the Kenyan, who became the first Kenyan woman to win a world title. There's Domingos Castro of Portugal, the fastest marathon runner in the world this year when he won the Rotterdam. He's really running well in this, no question about it. And the World Championship 5000 in 87, he was 2nd, 5th in the same event in 91. He's gradually stepped up in distance, but come out and live with these Africans. The Europeans don't often do that.
Well, I agree with that, David. It's great to see one of the Europeans. It's particularly good to see one of the Portuguese, because they're good, honest runners. He's been around for a long time, Domingos Castro. It's great to see him outrun a good marathon, but he's been good at 5,000 meters, 10,000 meters, the marathon and the cross-country races, and it's great to see him actually take on these Africans. Most of the European athletes are overawed by the Africans, to such an extent that John Brown, the British athlete who's run the 2nd fastest time ever by a British athlete over 10,000 meters, decided he didn't want to take part in this race and hasn't even arrived here. But now we're approaching 4 laps to go, and this is the time that somebody is going to have to make a move if they've got any ambition of trying to wrest the title from Haile Gebrselassie. I wonder if anyone will.
Actually, Koech is doing it from the front. He spurted then as he passed the 4-lap marker. But Gebrselassie looks dangerous in 2nd place. He's so easy. Hisu in 3rd place. No doubt focusing on Gebrselassie back and thinking, well, you've taken my world title away, I'm going to take your world championship away.
That's right. And in this group, there are only 6 men who've ever run under 27 minutes for 10,000 meters, and 4 of them are in this group. Gebrselassie, the world record holder, then Salah Hisu and Paul Turgat and Paul Koech. They're the 4 men who've run under 26 minutes. They're all in. 4 of the 6 men have run under 27 minutes. They're all here, and they're all being strung along by the leader, Paul Koech. I don't think he's doing too much damage to Gebrselassie so far, and they're getting involved now with lap runners. Sometimes that can be a little bit of a danger, and they've got 3 laps to go, and Paul Koech now just stretching them along. That was a 63-second lap, but he's going to have to pick up some momentum, and I'm surprised that Paul Turgat hasn't been able to take them on. I'm surprised that Hisu hasn't done anything, and it looks to me as though they're playing this race to the tune of Haile Gebrselassie.
Koech has worked so hard in front. He's done all the graft. Gebrselassie 2nd. Hisu moves up to his shoulder just to let him know he's there. Castro is 4, Turgat is 5, Mezi Gibu in 6th place. 2 Kenyans, 2 Ethiopians, 1 Moroccan and 1 Portuguese. It's been a fine run by Koech, really gutsy.
But he's in the worst place, Koech. He's in the lead and they're queuing up behind him. The two former world record holders are side by side, Gebre Selassie and Salah Hissou. Paul Turgat surprisingly hasn't made a move yet, as they now come down with 2 laps to go in the men's 10,000 meters.
Someone surely will make an early move. Will they all wait for the last 400? It's doubtful. Gebre Selassie moves dangerously to the leader's shoulder. What he's doing is running a slightly wide there to block anyone coming from the back. Somebody's got to go a long way round. Hissou follows. Turgat made no move at all, but Castro's right with these with a lap and a half left. The other man is Mezi Guibou in 6th place, only 19.
And there goes Gebre Selassie. Well, he didn't need to go that early, but look at that acceleration. He's blown them away in the course of 50 meters, and now the reigning champion is on his way.
He can see 1 to go. Hear the music of the bell. Turgat's gone second, Hissou third, but Gebre Selassie too good. The break was decisive, even when he took the first 10 strides. They weren't prepared to go with him. They couldn't go with him anyway. He's full of running. Absolutely flying away from them. And even though they're chasing hard, they're not catching him. Turgat is in 2nd place and Hissou 3rd. 4th is the long-time leader Koech. 200 left. This a majestic last lap. Really for the Ethiopian a lap of honour. He's won this so nicely. Turgat is closing, but he'll never catch him. So, Gebre Selassie wins for the 3rd time in succession the World Championship at 10,000 metres. Turgat is 2nd, Hissou is 3rd, Koech is 4th, Mezi Guibou 5, and Castro in 6th place. 33, the Portuguese, a really gallant try.
Well, that's amazing. However the race was going to be run, Gebre Selassie, the world record holder, the reigning champion, was certainly going to be the one to beat. And I think if they'd run faster, he would have won it. If they'd run slower, he would have won it. But the key to the race for Gebre Selassie was actually when he made the burst.